Hi guys, Alexi here with more weekly gaming news, hot and fresh, just the way you like it. Now, when we say retro, we already have a particular image in mind. Usually we think big clunky computers, colorful clothes, and Quentin Tarantino movie plots. Admit it, you were thinking it too. But the further we go into the future, the bigger the retro gap. That being said, what we think is retro just might be a bit more different nowadays. Time sure flies, that's for sure, so we better get started. So we're going to start small, on the fringes of what could actually be considered retro. Let me take you back to the year 1999. Not exactly old school, but far from next gen. Granddaddy Capcom was developing a little game that goes by the name of Resident Evil 4, a game that went on to become one of the best titles ever made. Now to this day, people are playing it, celebrating it, and of course arguing about it. 23 years later, a full-on remake was announced, and we're not going to talk about that today. The meat and potatoes of this story comes from a fan who decided to create a Demake. We're talking about Resident Evil 4, but with static camera angles, animated loading screen, tank controls, and of course, low-res 3D polygons. It's currently a short clip with no other details, but it's safe to say that given the hype it garnered, an actual project could be underway. Something we never knew we wanted until someone actually made it. New in AAA doesn't always mean better. Sometimes we just want simpler things in life, like Leon's face in PlayStation graphics. Next up, a fan favorite that already got a sweet makeover is now moving over to another, more modern gaming console. Our good old chomper, Pac-Man, is back with Pac-Man Repac for the Nintendo Switch. Bandai Namco is pulling out all the stops with smoother, intuitive gameplay, updated visuals, and a wider view. This of course comes with all the graphical upgrades you'd expect. This is a remake of the original Pac-Man reimagining Pac-Man World that launched on the Sony PlayStation in 1999. This time around, we're getting the Pac-Man experience on all modern consoles. I think I've said Pac-Man one too many times, so I'll just stop right there. It comes out in August 2022. Pac-Man. Okay, now if you think we haven't been retro enough so far, here's one for the books. If you remember how awesome Metal Slug was back in its heyday, then you'll probably be able to revisit it soon with an upcoming beta port for the Sega Mega Drive and Atari STE. Metal Slug was arguably one of the best side-scrolling shooters that saw a lot of playtime and several versions through the years. It was always a ton of fun to play, either solo or with friends. Thankfully, a fellow loyal fan agreed with our sentiments and decided to get cracking on the dedicated port. The game is still in a beta state, but so far the updates are looking pretty swell. It currently runs at a smooth 50 frames per second with very few slowdowns, just like old times but less jankier. While no official release has been announced, the new Metal Slug adventure is planned to have 6 levels with all the classic goodness, the outrageous action, and trademark humor, all thanks to generous donations. If you love the game as much as we do, you gotta check this one out. Well, there you have it, your weekly retro gaming news, with a bit of a twist, I guess. Do you agree with the current state of retro? Is the year 2000 too much of a stretch? Let us know down in the comments. Also, make sure to drop a like on the video to help us out. Again, I'm Alexi, and I'll catch you all again next time.